I'm back. Yes, that was quick this time because I had my phone in my hand and no cat actually trying to eat my microphone. So we're getting there. Yes, as I said, I'm really sorry for just blabbering on, but as you can see, I have so many thoughts and so many feelings about the show. It's like, oh yeah. I have to say, that makes the podcast actually a little bit tricky this time around because there are so many conflicting, not conflicting, but there are so many thoughts in my head about the show that are floating around, and I'm getting, like, in German we say, I'm getting from Höcksken to Stöcksken, which means I'm getting from pillar to post, I guess. Oh, that's not right. Oh, well, just forget it if you don't speak German. That wouldn't make sense to you. But let's go back to the really important things. To my favorite couple of this show, to the secondary couple, Sunbo and Jigang. And yes, it's very rare that I'm actually going for the secondary couple. I don't do that. I'm a main couple whore normally. But in this case, I am not. Because the moment that Sunbo actually smiled, my heart was gone. I was in love with him like the moment I saw him, like a lovesick, overgrown puppy looking at Jigang at the gym and practically drooling a puddle to his feet. And him, like, his smile is just so adorable. And the thing with Sunbo is he is practically me, half my age, in a boy's body. But yes, I am like an overgrown puppy as well. Like, not an overgrown puppy. I'm normally getting called Chihuahua because apparently I'm quite loud and I'm yapping a lot. And I'm jumping around a lot and I'm very hyperactive. And yes, Sunbo just reminds me so much of myself. And that's why I love him so much. I like the Sunbo Protection Squad. I'm sure I'm the leader of it because this boy is so, so precious. He has not a bad bone in his body, and so far the most profound sentences of this show has come from this little boy. So I don't care what other people think. Fight me on it, but this boy is bloody awesome. And Jigang is one of the best looking guys I've seen in a very, very long time. Like, for heaven's sake, he has everything I want within a guy. Like, he's pale, he has a ripped body, he has this character nose that is to die for, and this whole bone structure and this wavy hair, and oh yeah, you see, I every time I talk about him, I'm completely getting away. Like, my horses are just running away, not around. Yeah, well, maybe around as well, God knows. But I'm just really a fan about these two. I know that the age gap is a bit of an issue, or not an issue, but I know that people are complaining about it, that they find it like disgusting, or that it's creepy, or yeah, I don't know. And I don't get it. Because Sunbo is he is 18. He is an adult. He is a grown-up. He is allowed to drink. He is allowed to drive a car. He is allowed to elect, like to vote. He's allowed to marry. So why can't he decide who he fucks? I don't get that. Like, why do people need to put their noses into things? Like, I would have a problem with this whole relationship if I would have the feeling that Jigang would have been the one who pursued him and like coerced him almost in this relationship. But he hasn't. He was the one who actually stood very tall for 3 times, pushing him away. Even though, like, if you watch this whole thing closely, which I might have done very recently, like, yes, I have watched like all scenes with these two all over again, just because, yes, for scientific purpose, obviously, like just for research, because I needed to make sure I know my stuff before I'm doing this podcast, didn't I? So yes, you can actually see that Jigang is actually in love with Sunbo, like right from the beginning. But he actually denies his own feelings, and I think this is partially due to two things. That was actually hard to say. One part of it is because he's so scared to get hurt again, because I don't think that his last relationships have been very positive. But on the other hand, he actually I'm sure that he actually is not convinced that Sunbo really knows what he wants, because he's too young, and therefore he actually pushes him away like the 3 times. And I think he had a hard time with it. And you can see that actually as well. Like, there's this one scene in the beginning of this one episode, I think that was episode 3, where Jigang actually sits on the floor in his shop drinking beer and looking at photos of Sonbo. So I think that, like, yeah, he was in love with him the whole time, and he tried to be the mature adult and just to deny himself. So it was Sonbo who really made this conscious decision to go after this guy. And he is an adult, he's allowed to do that. So why should we judge if he is doing something that is completely legally in his rights? I just don't get that. Like, why are we giving these two a hard time because of that? Because, I mean, again, Sambo has told his family about Jigang. Like, his cousin knows about his relationship. He knew beforehand how much Sambo was in love with Jigang and everything. And he doesn't have a problem with it. So we have now here three people who have no problem with it. Like, we have Sambo, who's completely in love. We have Jigang, who's completely in love. We have Sambo's family, who doesn't have a problem with this whole relationship thing. So why are other people trying to put their big fat nose in it and say, like, "Ooh, this is weird, this is weird"? No, it's not. It's just love, for fuck's sake. And it's a legal love, so why are we going to, like, put a damper on it? You see, I'm actually really, really into this couple. Sorry. So, let's go to why I like this couple so much. Yes, first of all, Sunbo reminds me so much of myself, which is, like, completely stupid. But he wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see every emotion in his face. He's like, when he's happy, he's happy. When he's sad, he's sad. And you can see that. And I love the way he is with Jigang, because Jigang is like, he has this air of melancholy about him, like this air of depression and sadness. And I'm sure he has, like, a big backstory coming up as well, like with his family not being in the picture anymore, and like these scars on his shoulder. And then we have Sumbo, who is so innocent, like, not innocent in a sexual way, I'm sure, but innocent in a like, his heart is just so pure. He there is no malicious bone in his body. He just loves this guy, and that's all that he wants to do. And kudos for their love scene. Like, again, in Boy Love, we don't get to see, like, proper skinship very often. We get a peck, like GMM, for example. Like, just don't get me started on GMM. Like, where they think, like, a peck on the cheek. Like, I kiss my cat more passionate than that, for fuck's sake. And I don't kiss my cat very passionate. But even that would have more love in it than what they do. Ugh. Yes, so we don't get, like, a proper depiction of skinship in Boy Love like we would get in a hetero show. So for Sunbu and Jigang to have a love scene like that, I just, like, celebrate this so hard. And not just because I'm a perv, and obviously I was drooling over it because it was fucking hot. No, I do that for, like, an emancipatory reason as well, because it's a good step in the right direction. Because if we want to have equality between, like, all the sexes, all the genders, then the television needs to play a part in it. And these things, like, pushing our expectations and pushing the boundaries, like, slightly and tinily, a little bit further and further and further, that's how we are going to get this kind of acceptance of all kinds of sexualities and genders. Because the more we see these things, the more they are going to be normal for, like, future generations. And it's, that's why this show is amazing and why it's so important. And why it makes me so much, like, so happy. They are not doing this whole stereotypical, thing with top and bottom. They are not doing this whole stereotypical thing about, like, the young boy not knowing what he wants and being, like, this little plaything for the older guy. No, we have someone who is actually young, but who knows exactly what he wants and who is so steadfast in his opinion. And who's just, like, a good person, and not just a naive idiot. Like, he is not naive. He knows what he's doing there, and he knows what's going on. He's just very much in love. And I think the way that they're describing Sunbo as well is mind-blowingly good, because I have seen, like, people, oh God, where's consent? He kissed Jigang in the shower and blah da before, not the sex scene, like the first kiss. Where I'm just thinking, like, oh, for heaven's sake, I don't want to see perfect human beings doing perfect things on telly. If I want to watch that, that's so boring that I can just watch a 50s 50s music film or something where, yeah, nothing bad ever happens, where it's always just good and positive. I want to see my characters make mistakes, and I want to see my characters grow. And in Sonbo's case, for example, you see this boy who is so in love. And like, I'm not sure if you have been in love like that, when you are so in love that you think you might die if you don't see that person. And he portrays this feeling so wonderfully. And it just makes me, it reminds me so much of how I was when I was his age. And it's it's beautiful. And of course you're stupid, because your hormones are completely driving you to the most incredible stupid things in the world. But that's love for you, and it's just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And that's, I think, why I love Make Our Days Count so much at the moment. They are having their dramas, and they're having their conflicts and everything, but it doesn't matter. Even if things are going rough, or if things are not going the way that we would expect it to go, we can still see the love that these characters have for each other, and we can still see how deep the affection runs between them. And this really makes me so happy, because love is an amazing thing. Like, I'm such a sucker for love, and it doesn't need to be romantic love. It can be like friendship as well. But love is such an important emotion that is such a great part about, like, of being a human. And this show really, yeah, it just makes me happy to see it, because, yeah, they are doing a clever show about love, and a clever show with no stereotypical depiction of love. And that makes me so freaking happy. So I can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait for the next episode. And I apologize that I rambled just 45 minutes on about a show. And yeah, I'm very sorry. I apologize profoundly. Okay, so this will be the point where I will stop for today. I hope you enjoyed me going completely nuts on, a show that really means a lot to me at the moment. Like, I think it's just plain amazing. Please leave me like comments, feedbacks, whatever in the comment section of Amino or YouTube or wherever you want to. I really am a sucker for feedback. So just like, yes, tell me that I'm completely crazy for thinking that Sunbo is like the most cutest human sunshine thing in the world. Yeah, I just like to discuss things with you guys. Also, you can always leave me some suggestions on what you want me to discuss further. I might otherwise just really completely do a rant and discuss why I think GMM needs to step up their game. Or I just write that. Oh, I'm not sure. So yeah, if you have any idea what you want me to talk about next Tuesday, just let me know. And until then, I would say I am just going to shut up now. And I hope you have a lovely week. And I hope you listen to me soon. Bye bye.